All right, everyone, we are live. We've got 15 players for this rapid fire tournament on NUC. I'm excited to be able to cast this. This is the first time I've been able to get off work early enough to be able to do this. I have had a number of friends also do this, so I appreciate what they've done. And we've got 15 players for today. So let's go in and have a look at the tournament homepage while we get some of these players set up, getting themselves ready to go. So fantastic that we've got some participation. I'm excited to be able to do this, and hopefully as time goes on, this continues to grow. I am Chili from A Hero's Guide to Asgartha, and I will be your guide today, so I'm excited for it. I would love to have joined the tournament, but given I'm trying to do some production at last, right? We're hoping that we can get some things going pretty well. So we've got 15 participants that are coming in here. Lord Judah, Nareed, Aragorn, Elwiwi, Messi 14, HTSA, Leah Rising, Beat Barry, Shirokami, Shrumpf, Lupel, Kikma, Masterpel, Jebwaju, and Jack 006. So we can see here. So unfortunately, Shirokami has had the bye this time round. We hope that everybody is here, that they can continue to play, and we'll see how we go in this very quick format that is 1 hour long, 3 rounds of 20 minutes, the rapid fire tournament that we've created. And in this, the one thing to be wary is everybody gets an adventure pass. I have put the link already in the tournament chat, and then on top of that, the top 2 players in the NUC format do also get a promo pack. I do ask you to reach out to me, and this is based on what BGA tells us. Now, if I hear any complaints or someone reaches out to me that one of the top 2 players has used a unique in this format, they will not receive that. Then the next person down will get that. So that's how we'll go through the ladder. This is hosted by Gamers Guild Arizona, so thank you to them for being able to provide the promo packs for us. And then there will be an announcement coming shortly from Equinox in terms of what we will be able to receive, what we'll be able to get going forward from a tournament perspective for the online tournaments. And I hope it is something juicy and something great. My hope is that we will all be able to receive not a promo pack, but something better. I'm hoping that it is a unique, but we're going to see what comes out. I know an announcement is actually going to be coming shortly, but it may not be that. It may be something else, but I do hope that we get that level of reporting or that level of recognition for this online format. And now that we've given the team some time to get ready, let's move ourselves to the first tournament. And I do have to, BGA is still having the issues where it doesn't refresh, at least on my computer straight away. We are going to go to table 4, and as I get things going, I'll switch the scene here so you can see it a little bit better. And we have got Leah Rising against Messi 14, Canadian against Leah Rising. What country is that? It's Ireland Islands? I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to pick up on my geography. Leah Rising on the bottom playing Sigismar, and Messi 14 playing on the top of your screen with Traced and Rossum. And we have already seen a double progression on day 1 by our Sigismar player, which is a very, very strong format, especially with Skybound Odyssey, allowing players to be able to advance when they just match. So the ascend mechanic, incredibly popular and incredibly strong for Sigismar themselves. On the positive side, at least they weren't able to get the card draw advantage that you probably would have thought by playing out the Order Saturni here at the rare 2/2/2, and you can see it here. When my expedition fails to move forward, draw a card. But I am excited to see what we have here. I think Sigismar has a strong chance at the beginning, but the later the game goes, the more chance that we will see strength in what we get from Traced and Rossum. And we're already seeing here no cards in hand for Traced and Rossum. Maybe that is a way that we can use some of those uniques that are in play that don't allow you, that basically give you benefits when you don't have cards in hand, but it isn't really something we'd love to do on a regular basis. But let's see what our Canadian friend Messi 14 does and what they will do here. So we'll see what ends up coming out. It's going to be a little bit rough to see some level of benefit. It may become a 1-for-1, which is what we're looking for. You do not want to go behind. You do want Leah Rising to progress on the companion side so they don't get the additional card draw. And we are seeing here that the Keylon, the Axiom Paju Axiom Pilot being played out to make sure that they do actually go 1-for-1, but they are still 2 regions behind in this NUC format, so there are not going to be any uniques in this. So we're going to see how we play in the commoner format for the closest thing to commoner format for Altered here. So we have got it here. Unfortunately for Messi, they have to actually reduce their hand size even further by what they've got. The good thing is, by being able to play out the frozen delivery, they will be able to get another card in reserve and start triggering that up. We are at day 3 and there's still only 1 trigger on Tristan Rossum, which doesn't look promising for them, but we'll see what ends up happening here. I'm excited to see what we've got. Hopefully you're liking the overlay. Would love to get some of your thoughts on making this a little bit easier, a little bit better, a little bit more professional if we can, as we try to advertise this game coming into Season 5 when Seeds of Unity comes out in February, and then so we can get more promotion in the game, more people in the game, and get this game to continue to be something that we all love and enjoy. Pedro Playstream, congratulations for being the first person to comment on this stream today, and thank you very much, and hello back to you. I'm not sure if you're playing, but I hope you are. If not, we'd love to have you join us today, or sorry, next time we play next week, or if you want to join us tomorrow. We also are doing the format, the non-NUC format, so the traditional format is tomorrow. Now that does have 4 promo packs in place, so basically all undefeated players will get a promo pack and everyone will continue to get the Adventure Pass. And what we are seeing, this is actually a very good opportunity for Messi to be able to get those triggers for Tristan Rossum up. Not only were they able to get the frozen reprocessor out that allowed the Axiom Salvager to come out, which in and of itself will allow another resupply, and we're going to get some triggers. Unfortunately though, with the Order Spy coming out, it's going to get rid of it, but it still triggers Tristan Rossum. So it still gives him the benefit, he just won't have the card advantage available to him. So what do we do? It looks like, oh, interesting play. Playing out on the companion side while they are advancing, there's a potential where they're trying to go for a 2-for-2, or at least Tristan Rossum has something in hand that would allow them to get at least 1 level of progression. Unfortunately, they are blocked off on the companion side with what's been played. Let's see what we do have. Unfortunately, Messi does pass, and we are seeing another 2-0 advance from Leah Rising. Very, very strong, very, and you can see here the consistency in the Sigismar decks is crazy. Okay, it looks like Pedro, you are Jack006 on BGA. My goodness, you've got many pseudonyms, my friend. Chad2806. So I'm looking forward to, and Jack006, I'll see if I can get you on the next stream. So as this game finishes, if you're still playing, I will get you on and get to see you. If not, you will be the player that I'll watch in round 2. So I'm interested to see what you've got cooking, what you have got available for us to be able to see. And wow, this is looking very tough for Tristan Rossum, but the good thing is they are at their 4th trigger. If they don't get something in reserve, that's going to be basically game over for them. With what I feel is Sigismar is going to at least progress on one side with what they've got. It's okay, Pedro. Sorry, I don't know what to call you. Pedro plays through. It's good. I like watching every player. It gives me a chance to see different decks and different dynamics. Today we started off with some of the more commonly used heroes. When I was casting with Kohlrabi on Monday, we got to see some of the less played heroes, especially as they tried to take the gauntlet, which is the Altered Aces tournament on the Mondays that has taken over the AWOL. All right, we are seeing here this additional token that's come out makes it so difficult to play against it. Now, if there is anything that can help this additional card coming out, the Bravos Bastion, Haven Bravos Bastion, will at least allow you to be overstatted, and now you're able to draw a card, you're able to get things. Oh, cool. I will call you Pedro. Thank you very much. I will. Let's see what else we've got going on here. I'm excited to see the new cards in play. Now, one thing, as I've taken on the duties basically of looking at tournament recaps, what we're seeing is Skybound Odyssey is really taking a large chunk of the cards being played competitively in these tournaments, which I think is really good. We didn't see that same uptick with both set 2 or set 3. But now we are starting to see that where now Beyond the Gates is less than 50% of the deck compositions, or the majority of the deck compositions that are put together per 39 cards. And I think that is a good thing for the game. We have been advised that at some future point there is going to be set rotations, and in many people's eyes, once you're able to remove Beyond the Gates and the uniques that came with it, which are incredibly strong, then you're really able to get some strength in being able to progress. Oh my goodness, look at it here. So what we're seeing, he's playing, Messi 14 is playing on the companion side. They're still not able to progress, but what do they have in store that will allow them to basically double advance themselves? Looks like this is the right card. We're going to get the Grems come out. See, you didn't... Okay, Grems comes out, gets rid of the Haven, creates a Brass Bug on the other side. At least it's a 2-0 themselves to try to claw back something. It's still very, very difficult for them. They do not have nothing in their reserve, nothing in stock, but they do have the ability of having an additional card available to them, although I would call it a half card, given that half card comes from reserve, but they are now online. The unfortunate part for them is having the Bumblebee in play as a 3/3/3 is very difficult. That's something else. And on top of that, they've got the 1/1/1 token on the hero side that they're trying to play against. So we'll see what happens here. And there is very little removal that's traditionally played in Axiom. Not sure what this deck has, and we're going to be able to see if there is anything that is removal for outside of potential sabotage that comes from the Grems. All right. What do we see next? What are we going to see next? Okay, so we're moving on to the next day. 2 cards in hand for Messi, 3 cards in hand for Leah Rising, and on top of that, they also have a card and a token in play already. What will Messi do? Do you trigger first, trigger last? Normally, in my mind, I tend to do it last, just in case. But in here, you're really just trying to play for survival. But they're maybe just a really hard draw for them. That's a great card to be able to play out. Unfortunately, there's no Haven to be able to increase the boost for it, but at least it will allow you to get another card in hand or another card in reserve to be able to play out. And this in and of itself may not be what you wanted. You did want a character to come out, but it does give you the potential after you. Frog Prince on the right-hand side being played as well. Interesting choosing to play there to advance rather than block out on the companion side. So it was played on the hero side. Second chance to be able to play this out. Another Grems being issued, but unfortunately with nothing in your landmark zone, it does not give you the additional benefits that it could. And on the other side, you don't. Sigismar seldom plays any of the landmarks. Now, we have to go back a number of seasons to when that was actually part and parcel of the way that people operated, the way people played. Gift of Self being played out to draw an additional cards. Interesting. So, what are we going to do? Because the 1/2/2 isn't going to be enough to block. Sigismar will have 3 cards available to them with 3 resources, and we know Sigismar plays very low to the ground. It's going to be a tough one for them. Not sure what we have in store. Do we have anything? It looks like we are going to be able to play something out. Excellent. Oh, that's not bad. Unfortunately, the bug out bag isn't going to give you the... it will give you some protection, but it's not you. And then the next turn, you can use it for Grems to be able to get something else for Grems. So you can trigger it that way. Unfortunately, we are going to see a 2-0 progression. No, you can still play it out. Now, in this case, play out... You've got to play out the Keylon Elemental on the companion side. And the reason I would play it out on the companion side is you still progress. No, you won't progress. You've got to play it out on the hero side, so then you can progress and they won't. Keylon Elemental for 2, coming out on the hero side. But let's see what Messi does. Once again, the lack of cards in hand has really become a struggle for them. And more than anything, there is so much removal at stake. Now, with the one cost hand, there's potential that Leo Rising may have something. No, they do not. They have decided to pass. So it is a 1-for-1, and the challenge is still very much an uphill battle up a mountain for Messi to be able to get control of this game. But we will see what ends up happening. So rough going at the moment for him. And let's see what we've got. All right. Pretty good. Nick, my co-host on A Hero's Guide to Asgartha, is also right now editing our last podcast, and what we are talking about is the hunger in terms of ways people play it, the ways you could play around it. And in many cases, what I found in this analysis and the work that we did is there is a lot more at our disposal to be able to actually get rid of it, outside of if they've ramped ridiculous amounts more than you. The only question is, are we willing as competitors to change the deck compositions that we currently play so that we have the ability of how would I put it, dealing with it. But in many cases, people don't want to do that because they don't want to, how would I put it, they don't want to change their game style. And unfortunately, as a card game that is to and fro, you have to change your game style to be able to manage the best way of operating, per se. So what we're seeing here, Messi is triggering their trace. Now we're seeing some level of cards available to them. The positive thing they have for themselves is they do have an additional resource more than their opponent. Aerolith Reef is going to come out. That is going to be incredibly useful. More than anything, you're going to get rid, I would assume, of the Frog Prince. Gets taken out. Fantastic play here. And this will allow what I would see is a very, very strong play for Messi. They may actually be able to come back. Unfortunately, on the other side, if we're looking at time, one thing with time, Leo Rising is already 1 minute under, with Messi still 3.5 minutes to go. The unfortunate part here, what do we want to do here? Do you get rid of the Gargoyle yet again? What do you want to do? Get rid of the Gargoyle, or in this case, not get rid of the Gargoyle. Get rid of... Yeah, you got to get rid of the Gargoyle. You got to discard the Gargoyle. They'll play out the Gargoyle again. It does not have the chance of giving something else progression. Actually, that's really, really useful. So it is going to be hard. Okay, so what will ends up happening if they play if Leo Rising ends up playing Gargoyle on the companion on the hero side with Grem's or the Allure? Okay, choosing not to play it, so basically forcing Grems to be played to get rid of. Do you want to get? I don't think you need to get rid of anything. Choose not to play. You don't have to sacrifice. Don't sacrifice the permanent. Invoke the brass bug. That's fine. Oh, yeah. It was going to go anyway because you're advancing. And now we're seeing Messi really come up. We are now even. I should absolutely take my words back. You know what? Thaddeus, very good comment is in here when we're talking to Pedro. Pedro should use Jack Frost, especially as his logo in this game. It's a fantastic thing to be able to do that. So thank you very much, Thaddeus, on your comments on the overlay. I'm trying to make this a little bit cooler, and I'm teaching myself, right? As you teach yourself to do some of these things, this is not my forte, but I really like this. I do like the game, and I want to try to make the content that I bring out much more appealing to the masses, as well as to those that follow. So that's my hope. Very, very good. Now we are seeing Messi really bring online Traced and Rossum. So, Pedro, you could also play Jack Frost in Ordis if that's your thing. But I'm excited to see what you do have. Thaddeus, unfortunately, I've only set this up with a single screen. I would have done the overlay with the 2 screens for the next one. I have it ready to go, but I don't know how to transition back and forth. But for next week, I would love to have you join me if you can. That would be great. And Pedro, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got. And I've got to make sure Jack 006 is what I've got to find on there and watch your game. And looks like there are some spectators on the game already, with Aragorn, Elwiwi, and Lord Judah maybe having won their first rounds, looking at their opponents or potential opponents to see what they have got in store for themselves. Yeah. Sorry, Thaddeus, I don't know how to add a second audio to this, but myself, I know you've given me some instructions, but we'll get there for next week, I promise. Or even tomorrow, we'll be having the tournament with Nick, so myself and Nick will be running that. But if you want to take over on tomorrow's cast, I have no problem with that if you'd like to. Okay, getting rid of... Ooh, that's not bad at all. Wow. We're going to move ourselves to one final day. One more day. Messi has been able to claw back, and unfortunately, we are out of time. So if the tournament, if the clock, if BGA God's clock ends up going through, we're going to see Leah Rising lose this round and Messi win, because we're now in on what do I call it when we move to arena. So what will we have in play? Wow. I am so surprised, and I'm also really excited to see how Messi has been able to come. It does just show the strength of Axiom, and in this case of Tristan Rossum in the late game, that you have that card advantage every day, that you are able to play something out. You can choose to when to play, and especially with a Haven out, you can give that card an additional boost or potential other benefits when you play cards from reserve, depending on what artifacts, what permanents you've got in play. Oof. Okay, license withdrawal being the first card out, but it is 3 resources that they are getting themselves rid of, though, to make their way. So what do they have with 6 mana remaining? Rough play. Those are not the cards that Tristan Rossum is looking for right now. Nothing there that I would say of value, but we will see if there's anything they can do to match the stats. I would assume that we're going to have approximately 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7 worth of value in total for Leah Rising, given an even on-curve stats for what you've got. And in this case, it's slightly under being played out. It's going to be less than that, maximum probably a 6, 6, 6. But we'll see what we've got with the last card being played. Hooked does not help. My goodness, Messi has received the worst things possible when they're just trying to get some characters out. Oh, and even worse than that. Now, but there's still potential for progression here. Unfortunate part, because Tristan Rossum had to activate their ability from hand, we're not going to see many of the benefits that we would have hoped so. And it may be a very unlikely win coming from Leah Rising, given the strength of the card pool available to Messi at that time. Are we going to see, what do we have here? 0-1-1 is not going to be enough for any of this rough playing. We're going to see GG's come out in just a second, as Messi has one last play to do. And I will say here, Leah Rising got very lucky that the heart, oh my goodness, another, yeah, looping it over, trying to see what you've got. But with one card, one resource, we are not going to see too much on the table. It's an unfortunate play in getting us to the end. Just got to wait for that final pass. Or do they have a one card? There is no uniques here to save someone in this end. So we're going to see what do we have in store. Yeah, Hook, there's nothing in tiebreakers. You're absolutely right with that. It looks like everyone is joining us on this last table as we go through. I'm just going to press a refresh just in case it is on my end. No, it looks like Messi is still thinking what they can do. I don't think it's going to get you far. There is potential that Messi is just holding on the table just so they can get the win on time. Not sure what I think about that. It's not the way I like playing, but it is a strategy in and of itself. It's not illegal. Some people may say it's unethical, but it is part of being able to manage your time. Looking at what is going on. Okay, are we seeing here a stall tactic? The thing is, there's 1 minute left in terms of their time. If this doesn't resolve, then And then it will be Leah Rising winning. It looks like the end of state happened. Tournament max time. Messi gets the win on time. Rough, given they were already losing in that case. I am going to go back a couple of screens. Let me just go to my single caster screen while I get things ready in terms of where we are. And I'll transition to the tournament homepage as we look here. So in terms of winners from round one, we had Leah Rising. They were skipped. I don't know what ended up happening there. Oh, so they got the pass for day two. We have had some people drop off already. HTSA, Lord Judah, Messi 14, Master Pell, Shrimp, and Jack 006, and that's who we're going to go see now. Is Jack against Lord Judah, two players that I have not seen before. At least I don't recall the pseudonyms, and I am going to get us into. Ooh, looks like we just have a little bit of a loading issue, which means that our players are picking their decks. Let's see what we do have available to us in just 1 minute. Okay, let's see. Looks like they're still picking those decks. So we'll just wait until that does come available to us. What I'll do while we're waiting is I'll just put it on my face. As you can see, we're trying to get... What I've used in the overlays is a number of the different alternate arts from Kickstarter. Some of those are my favorite arts that have come out. And we are seeing here where we go. Come on. Still, there we go. Now we can transition to the in-game view. And we do have Jack 006 on the top, and then Lord Judah on the bottom. So Jack looks like a fairly new player from Portugal. Congratulations. I'm excited that you're here with us. And Lord Judah, very, very strong in terms of their victory points there, 447. But that means nothing when it comes to game state. There are so many players that really test a lot, that play a lot, and they don't care about their standing on BGA ladder. What matters is getting the tournament wins, and we're seeing this here. So, Marv, I'm sorry you weren't able to join us today, but please join us next week. Same time, we're trying to get these overlays, trying to get this production a little bit better. But also tomorrow, if you're wanting to join us, we do have the traditional tournament, so you can play your uniques in tomorrow's tournament. Same time, 1 hour, and then in tomorrow's tournament, rather than getting the top 2 getting prize support, the top 4 get prize support. Today is courtesy of Gamers Guild in Arizona. Tomorrow will be Game Haven Sandy. So thank you to the Western United States, some of the stores that are supporting Altered, giving us some product that we can give out to the competitors that we've got. So, all right, let's keep going through here. And we are seeing Kojo against Solon Halua. I love what Solon Halua has done to the game state in that you have to think so differently when you're facing Solon Halua, because in many cases you always want to play last. And in this case, Solon Halua wants you to play last so that they can get their triggers up. And what we're seeing here is playing out 2 cards with Solon Halua, going to get a card draw at the end of the day, going to get a trigger on their Halua token. Once 3 tokens come out, then you'll be able to play out your Halua on your companion side as a 2/2/2. Now just note that only comes out when you pass first. So the next day, if you don't pass first, it won't come out. And then once you have 5 tokens in play, then you'll also be able to make that gigantic, and that is really the game state that Lord Judah is looking to play here. We're going to get ourselves a 1/1 potential. Not sure what we've got in play available to us. No, it is not going to be a 1/1. It's a 1-0. A complete block by Jack 006 against Lord Judah. Really nice on that side. Getting the progression. Now, all you have to do is stay that 1 step ahead. So, let's see here what we can do here. Marv, I will be keeping this to a single 1 hour tournament. My goal in creating this with Nick in both the NUC tournament and then the traditional tournament that happens tomorrow is to make sure that people get the opportunity to get those adventure passes. Not everyone in the world has the chance to go to a local game store and get that, and both Game Haven Sandy and Gamers Guild Arizona have been kind enough to offer that for us. I have put the progression, so the information to get your progression on the chat. So for this tournament, so you'll be able to see there. Actually, it's on the notes of the tournament, so you can go in there and log in. and over the weekend, those tournaments will be validated. The same thing for tomorrow. I do that while we're actually playing here. Now, one thing that I do love is the rush mechanic is also a really fascinating mechanic and a good mechanic that has come out this tournament. So I am not going to do 7 rounds. 7 rounds, if you are really into it, and the Altered Aces do 7 rounds for their Monday tournament. And I'll say that it's a fantastic tournament. Over 100, basically anywhere between 125 and 256, 124 and 256 players. Oh, sorry, something like that. Fantastic turnout. It shows that the game is thriving, that there are people that are wanting to play, that want the competitive atmosphere. But there's others like you and I that in many cases we just want to have the ability of still playing a tournament, but cannot dedicate 3 to 4 hours. We cannot dedicate it all. And I do this work. I run this at 4 o'clock Mountain Time in the US because I know we can get the very late crew in Europe. At the same time, we can get the East Coast. Unfortunately, we're not doing too much for the folk in California, as that is still work time. But myself and Nick are dedicating ourselves to do this, as well as other casters that join us here and there. I appreciate the efforts for those that were able to do this in my absence, given this is my first week being able to run the tournament that I've been hosting for the last 10 weeks. So alongside my team. So appreciate it. We will keep this at only 3 rounds, and it will stay at 3 rounds in the rapid fire tournament, which we've created here as part of a Hero's Guide to Asgartha, which is a 20-minute round, so you can get 3 rounds in 1 hour or approximately 1 hour. I cannot guarantee it will be 1 hour, purely because BGA does tend to lag a little, and sometimes some games take 20 minutes plus, right, rather than the 20-minute cap that we're looking at here. And I'll say here, Jack has really lifted his game, has really showed the value of understanding what they're able to do to try to counter Lord Judah, and I think it's really, really cool to see. Interesting stuff here. So one of the most played cards that's come out of this deck is the Tengu. I think it's great. You're paying 2 cost, and on both times it gets played, it is overstatted with 1 additional stat in Mountain as well. And now we're seeing Jack just be 2 progressions away, so 2 ahead of Sol and Halua. And Sol and Halua has not been able to get off that 1 trigger, so this is very interesting. And I'm just going to make a note on the chat. Correct. We will keep this tournament at 3 rounds. So it will stay at 3 rounds, and it will not go beyond that, and in approximately 1 hour of gameplay. Like, one of my favorite cards that we've seen here is the Mighty Djinn. At the rare, gives you so much benefit, gives you the ability of card draw at the first play, and then when you play it from reserve, you'll also then get the benefit of the ramp as well. It does cost a little bit more from hand because of the card draw, but I think it is incredibly fantastic and overstated for what you get. And because it's now being played out with the Haven Bravos Bastion in your landmark zone, you're also going to get that boost, and that will be for anything that's coming out. I don't know what Lord Judah is going to be able to do right now. They haven't been able to get the trigger out, so they just mustn't have the cards in hand that allow them to rush. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult for them. But it does not mean it is impossible. As we saw in the last game, that there was a huge comeback with Trace against Sigismund. Unfortunately, they weren't able to fully overcome it, since they lost on time. Actually, they won on time by stalling tactics that were occurs. Of course, those are still part of the game, and we're looking at here. So what do we have now? Another card that has been played quite a lot, Leviathan Spotter, incredibly useful in many cases because everyone plays a Hunger. You can always have that available to you to be able to draw a card when played from reserve. Yes, you have to actually reveal it, but there is no problem with revealing a card if it means you get to draw another one. On the other side, we have Priya being played, so you can get a 1-for-1, but unfortunately, again, Lord Judah has not been able to get the trigger up for Halua, and they are still behind, and now even at a more desperate position, given that Kojo and Judah, or Jack in this case, is 1 progression away. All he has to do is win on one side or the other, and with a card like Bravos Pathfinder available to them with 2 stats, giving you 3 in mountain or in water. It's going to be very difficult to overcome. The only thing that may be a saving grace for them is if they can get, if there's a potential here for a hunger that is fleeting. But then you run the risk that there is no removal, or is there removal that Jack has in play, and that could be for both players. Both players have the potential of playing out the hunger and making it get fleeting with rage, but we will see what is available to them right now. Arcolano Milk, very interesting play. He plays very low to the ground for Halua. I don't know if that's by choice or just the cards that they're getting isn't really giving them what they need, but also by playing this out, Arcolano Milk will also have the ability of triggering Halua, triggering the hunger if that is what they've got in hand. So if it's possible, looks like that. Oh, that means that there isn't anything. Leviathan Spotter not being played out first means to me that there isn't something available to them to be able to then reveal and get a draw. That's usually the first play I have, and here, unfortunately, we are not going to get a hunger. No hunger in play for both players, and there may still be a hunger, actually, if that is what Kojo and Buddha has available to them. Let's see what ends up happening here. Will Jack end up playing it, given they are so far ahead already and have the ability of waiting everything out and playing last? And that will be a very, very no hunger there as well. So we've gone under the trigger. 6 mana available, but it is a 4/3/3. Let's see what's going to get played. So shows the hunger. Yep. Chose not to play the hunger, reveals the hunger, gets a draw card. Oh, alt-run teammate comes out, bringing out, it's just not going to be enough. There isn't going to be enough, and Jack is looking like they will get the win. GG's by Lord Judah coming out already. Really, really good job. Wow. Nice work. Nice work from our Portuguese friend Jack 006. Looks like we will be getting that victory. If they still need to choose a couple of things, I am going to click the button myself to see if it's me that's triggering. No, it's not. It is still staying in play. And we will get the 2-for-1 in this case. Finally, a second trigger for Halua is coming out, but unfortunately it's not enough to be able to get the Halua out to at least provide 2/2/2 in protection on the companion side, given that Jack played very well against the against not playing, making sure Halua did not play last, and we are getting the GGs. I think that will be it. Congratulations to Jack here, getting the win against Lord Judah. I will move myself back. Let's go back into the caster scene just for a second as I play the transition game. Really, really good job, as we can see. So congratulations. What do we have still being played? We are down to basically the last 5 minutes of game state, and I'll transition here to the tournament homepage, and we have got El Wiwi against Beat Barry still available. Let's go into this one. Let's go to the game. I will go into the BGA overlay, so hopefully that all looks hunky-dory. And of course, El Wiwi playing out what he is most known for, which is his Fen and Crowbar build, and constantly adapting, constantly changing. And we can see here that the Paint House is a new addition that he's got in his deck against Beat Barry from Spain. I would call it one of my hometowns, having lived in northern Spain for a couple of years. Great place, and they themselves using Traced and Rossum. And what do we have? What can we do in this site? Is there anything that Beat Barry can do to stop the progression? The interesting part here is, so the Paint House being played out, which allows you to resupply in at noon if there's 3 or more you can single terrain territories, and there are at this point. You'll be able to give a card in your reserve a boost. On the other side, we've got the Opera House also being able to be played out. Let's see what ends up happening, because Requiem can be a really hard card to play, but they don't have Requiem. What we do have is Lyra Signet. Lyra Signet is being played to give additional boost. Fantastic. 3 boosts, a very, very versatile card to the Hatter. And I do believe that may end up being game 455. Looks like we are removing. What do we have here? Do we have anything? There's no sleep in. I don't think there's anything that can be done. Looks like just looking for a 2-for-1 progression, but unfortunately that is not enough, and El Wiwi does get the win. Congratulations. Pedro, the hunger that you showed, you must have had a card that revealed the top card of your deck then? I don't know why it was revealed. It may be a bug. I thought that you revealed that from your hand, because you have to reveal a card with that. And on screen for me, at least as a spectator into the cast, I wasn't able to see anything else but the hunger. So you did reveal it. Oh, it did not reappear in your hand. It should have gone back to your hand if you reveal it. I might have a look at that video afterwards. If not, there may be a bug. Well, congratulations here. We will get ourselves back onto here. We are getting close to the end of round 2. And let's see what the ladder currently looks like. And we'll just go into the tournament homepage there for you. And we still got one last progression. So it looks like table 3 is finishing up. Let's make our way to table 3. And see where we are. There's still that bug on BGA that shows a lot of games still at 50%. And we can see here that that has actually finished as well. And in this case, HTSA getting the win against Messi 14. Congratulations there with triple Brass Bug Hive. My goodness, we missed a great one, I think, in that case. So let's get ourselves back on here, and I will transition. We are looking for the last of the rounds. So thank you all that have participated, all 15 of you. We hope we get some more as we go on, and let's make our way. And let's see, round 3 is starting up, but what I'm going to do is give people a chance to get their decks ready, selected. So right now, the 4 undefeated players, HTSA, Jack006, Schrumpf, as well as Aragorn. So some very common names here that we've got that are there. We have had 4 people drop out after losing the first round, choosing or opting to either not, they weren't able to show up. Looks like we did have 1, 2 players, 3 players that weren't able to show up. So we will miss you. Hopefully next week you're able to do that. Just set those reminders and that to be there. Let's see what ends up happening. I'll get my way down here. It looks like we do have here, and let's go to table 1, given that is one of the tables that will look for the victory and the win. All right, let's see where we've got. Looks like the decks are still being discussed in terms of your opening hand. What 3 cards do you discard? Do you become mana? What 3 cards become a part of your hand to begin with? And it is a very, very good decision, very tough decision for many people, including myself. And we are now seeing Schrumpf play his Basira deck against Kojo and Buddha, and that's a really good placement of the Colorful Cuckoo, because what it will do on the next day when Kojo ends up playing the Buddha, then you're matching the Buddha without having to play any cards from hand. It does mean that you go 1 for 1, but that is okay. So Schrumpf against Aragorn here, 2 very, very strong players that know their way. Hi, Schrumpf. Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to watch your game here as well. So let's see what ends up happening. When we finish the cast today, I've got to take over the responsibilities with the kiddos, and then I have to go to a Christmas party at my boss's house, who has hired a chef to come to his home. So my family was meant to come, but unfortunately that's been pushed back a little bit, and my kiddos, we are pretty, not strict, but we try to adhere to our bedtime routine that allows our kids to be able to sleep through the night. So they're 2, 4, and 6. So we got 3 girls under 6. It used to be three under 5, and that was rough. It was absolutely rough, but absolutely worth it. They're good little girls. I wouldn't have anyone else in our family or the wifey either. So, Or let's see what ends up happening here. So what we're going to see is as Buddha gets out, because you don't have a choice where Buddha gets placed, we're going to see Cuckoo go up to 2. And then the question is, does Shroomp decide to trigger the boost from Basira straight away, or do they wait? In my opinion, if you've got a card in your hand that will allow you to give your cards a boost, I would wait. So that way you can see where your opponent is going to play first and see what's best. The positive side, though, for Shroomf is not only because they're playing Colorful Cuckoo at the rare, and I'll just put it up here so you can see it, it also allows them to ramp. So the question is, will they ramp Colorful Cuckoo or will they ramp something else? In many cases, you want to ramp the other card that you've played, purely because you can then bring out Colorful Cuckoo as an anchored card the next day. There's potential here, actually. Interesting. What we may get a double ramp coming from Basira, but they're going to be very low on cards if that's the case. Rage being played out, so give the fleet the additional boost to Buddha. In this case, what's going to be played out? You've got to play 2 cards if you're Shroomf, and give. Okay, what are you going to give the ramp to? So it's 5/4/4. You give it to Tiny Jin. I would give it to Colorful Cuckoo. No, choosing to give it to Tiny Jin, so that eliminates and goes here. I wonder if this is a Basira boost deck that will allow the Suha to constantly be played out. I've seen that a number of people use those decks, but I didn't know that was the style of gameplay that Shroomf has themselves. But what we will see here is, yeah, absolutely. And now Rage is also going to be removed. And a positive part here is, again, what we're going to potentially see is Colorful Cuckoo get played out on the companion side, so that way it gets the boost once Buddha comes out. But we'll see what we have in store. This is going to be a game of attrition, a game of balance, really looking for this one-to-one progression every time, and it is what we're seeing here. And some of the stronger players really tend to focus on just progressing on one side, finding the ways to make their matchup so that they have more opportunities to play on when there are double terrains available to them. We are going to get to see Haven Bouncer to get rid of the Suha. So if that was Shroom's game plan, it is now gone. But on the other side, we're now seeing a potential double progression, and that's going to be negated through the use of Tengu. That will give. Actually, it is not negated through Tengu. Yeah, it is negated through Tengu. I counted my stats incorrectly there, so we're getting a 1-for-1. And what we will see here is both players are very low on resources. But there is a ramp already available for Basira. What will we see here in terms of what is available? So far, none of these players have been playing anything in their landmark zone. No permanents being played, so not sure if that's by design or just the cards haven't come up, given we're seeing so much reliance on these booster cards that come from playing them in your landmark. What we're going to see here is, all right, there, so it's 2 for 2. So what ends up happening now is that the Buddha has been negated, and we're seeing our first, and this is actually a really good use of the Haven Bravos Bastion. You have 2 cards that can potentially be played out. You cannot play out the Haven Bouncer as well as something else from reserve, but you have the ability of playing out the Leviathan Spotter and the Tengu. The question is, do you have a card that costs more in reserve to be able to get the draw card? And that's going to be completely negated. A Klute coming out is going to basically, what will they block out? I would think you'd want to do the Tengu, the Haven Bouncer and the Leviathan Spotter, just so that they don't get the ability of card draw. And it looks like the Tengu will end up being played in the companion side to see if you can have a chance of potential progression, depending on what else you've got. And that does help out with an additional boost coming from here. And what we're going to see here is this Haven Serengar being played out on the companion side, getting the stat that they need to progress on Forest. And now you're really forcing, really nice work. Really nice work. One of the best arts in the game. And we can see it here. The rare Duel of Grit, discard target character with hand cost less than or equal to the hand cost of a character you control. Given you only had 2, you could not get the Cuckoo. And we're looking for another 1-for-1 progression. But what we are going to see here in terms of Aragorn really being low on resources, not having cards in hand to be able to take advantage of the situation. Schrumpf here is going to go first, and we're going to see the same thing again. Both cards that are in reserve are going to get exhausted, and we're going to see even less ability for Aragorn to be able to play. This attrition is really, really strong, and I really like the way that they're playing. This is the way that I love playing Viscera myself. I am not as strong as Shrimp in my mind. I don't get to play as often, and I also don't think as critical as he has done. Getting this second boost out, going to be able to get both those 2 cards. And the question that Shroomf is asking myself, is there another Duel of Grit there available, especially if he's got a 4 cost and a 2 cost? Unfortunately not. We're going to see Bravos Tracer be played out. That has fleeting in and of itself, which means it won't be able to come out again next turn. On the other side, we're seeing Chiron, and in this case, Chiron is going to get the single boost. And if there's more cards available to them, oh, this isn't bad. Fire Rabbit. So they are going to get some level of benefit. It's a question of, does Shroomf want to waste their cards in hand? Do they have something that they need to get in reserve? Oh, okay. Playing out the Fire Rabbit themselves, they are going to give it... So what is it? So they just need to play out one more. With the single resource, do they have another 1 resource card that will give them water? Okay, I'm trying to find out, why was it played out? Why would you play that out? Why did Shrimp play it out? Okay, what we can see here is Helping Hand getting rid of from a Clute. Interesting. Okay, so that's the benefit there. What are you going to do? Okay, so it's a 1-for-1. So we're staying true to this framework. The difficult part, though, is that see, both players have the same amount of things available to them. But on the other side, Shrimp has got 2 more mana available to them as well. So more than likely, you want to keep the Clute and you want to keep the Chiron, or you keep the Clute and the Helping Hand so you can play it out again. Maybe I would play Helping Hand and a Clute would be what I'd keep. And that is what Shroomf has done here, purely because you know that they're lacking resources and they're also lacking mana. So the question for Kojo and Buddha is, they've chosen to mana, only have 3 cards available to them at all, and in essence, they only have 2, if you think about it, because once the Occlute comes out, it is going to make the other card rough. Okay, so what would I do? Play Occlute first, so that way you block. Playing it on the companion, on the hero side, so that way you're blocking that out. More of a chance to be able to play a 2/2/2 or greater on the companion side to beat Aragorn. Really interesting. Oh, and we're seeing another mana eruption in this case. Discard 1 of your mana orbs, so back down to 6 is going to get rid of the Occlute. Now, do we see what has Shroomf got available to them? I'm assuming they still have cards to give boosts because they have not triggered their Basiri yet. Let's see what we have available to us now. And oh no. Okay, so at least this will block out because it's in water. So Isun Boshi made famous very much. Nice work. This is really interesting. So Isun Boshi being played out on the companion side with, you're going to play, you have to play Helping Hand. Are you going to play Helping Hand, or do you have something else? Tiny Jin, and then Helping Hand for your on your Isun Boshi, or even on the Tiny Jin. Yeah, give it the boost so you can get another mana, the additional. So it's going to be 1-for-1, and both players here are really, really short on resources. This is I'm not used to seeing this, where both players have nothing in hand, and both of them will have 1 card in their reserve by the end of this. From a perspective of Kojo and Buddha, by having the Haven there, at least we know that the cards that are coming from reserve will have a lot of stats. It's the question of, can any of these two players get some level of card draw, given that does not come in your traditional cards. Usually the uniques give you that, but in this new NUC format, we don't do that. We don't have access to many of those card draws. And there's a couple, the ones that give you 3 boosts, but so we are looking at here Leviathan Spotter being played out, not revealing anything, so that means there's no cost. We are going to see again another colorful cuckoo basically saying, I may not be able to win it on this day. If we do go into arena, no, not getting a chance to play a card out in arena, that's still going to be very difficult. So in this case, you have to discard, and the card gets discarded, doesn't even go to reserve. Does Basira have anything else up their sleeve? We've got a second, but there is no progression for Shroomf, and Aragorn gets the win. Fantastic work. Well played, gentlemen. Fantastic work. All right. Wow. We're seeing there. It was unexpected, Aragorn, of getting that win. Really, really good job. I will take us back to the tournament homepage here as we go through to see if there's any matches that are still in progress, and it looks like we do have 1 or 2. I do have to refresh. Let's go to see Jack against HDSA. So this is also playing for the promo pack that we have available to us. Let me switch the scene, make it look a little bit better. And we are now seeing HTSA on Sierra, and this Sierra build with Nylum and Brassbug Hub, and we are seeing a huge amount of robot conditioning already. 6 resources available to HTSA, which means this Foundry Armorer is going to come out with a 3/3/3 thanks to the Brassbug Hive that is out. And on the other side, we do have, I wonder what got removed from the Grems. Let's have a quick look. It was the Haven more than likely that got removed. Mighty Jin being played out, blocking out the forest area for HTSA, but there's still a lot of cards to still be played, especially with the 3 resources available for the Foundry Armor, choosing not to play that yet, getting it out 5/5/5, robot upon robot upon robot, and because that gets played out and it costs 3 the bug out bag, you can also then see error as well. Wow, we're going to see at least 1 more robot that is 3/3/3 come out. I don't know what Jack has in store to be able to take care of this, but it is fascinating to see. Lovely to see a deck that has traditionally had issues not be able to be played out. Really good use. Haven Bouncer getting rid of the entire plan, or at least a very large portion of the plan, by removing the Foundry Armorer. So really good job here. And unfortunately, mechanical training being played out. And in this case, because it can be played out twice, once from hand and then 2 additional resources from reserve. And you can see here in the mana that we have plenty available to cover that as well. It looks like GG's may have to come out from Jack, but he is not giving up. Look at that. We are now seeing a 5/3/3 against a 6/6/6, and that is the end. Unfortunately, not being able to get enough to be able to cover. We're going to see a double advantage from HDSA, and that will take us to the end of this game. And let's see if anyone is still playing good games. Jack, unfortunately, not in terms of going undefeated this round, but you have done a fantastic job. HTSA, also really brilliant work on your deck. It is one that I may look to emulate a little bit in the coming days. Okay, let me just go through back onto my caster scene just for a second. We have seen this card be played out, the one that's in my background there for you, and the one that's on my wall as well. So as we progress, let me see where we are. And we are, there's still 1 last round remaining. I will take us to that screen as we get there. So, sorry, 1 last game remaining. And it is, it wasn't working. Let's see if it's working for me now. Let's go into the game mode here. And we have Shirokami playing with Lindaway. Awesome work here. They are unfortunately a fair bit behind in terms of what is available to them. A double Baba Zizba available there. So Beat Barry and I watching this game. Thank you, Beat Barry. Yeah, 1 hour. I can't do more than that. I have the family element, and I'm trying to find ways of being able to support the game. This is the best I can do, is 1 hour every week. But I also love it. I love watching how people play. Now we're going to see what gets sacrificed here. Is Shirokami going to be able to get the double progression? It looks like they are. There is something being clawed back. Well done. We are. So Leah Rising is short on time. This happened last game as well. Oh, sorry, in round one. Just has a lot more triggers, a lot more actions that they have to take care of. Unfortunately, that's clicking through the way that you play. Not much you can do here. But Shirokami having to discard 4 cards from their reserve, that is a lot that is available to them. I would say the Izmir Nurse, you're getting rid of 1, keeping the other. 2/2/2 for 2 isn't bad at all, but Shirokami has got 3 minutes, so that means in total we still have 3 minutes available of game time here. Love it when I see Lindaway do pretty well, and it looks like they may be at a 1-for-1, so whoever wins this goes 2-1 on the tournament. So yeah, you lost unfortunately, Pedro. It was unfortunate, but it was well played. I hope you enjoy this format, this tournament, and we have you and more of your friends join us in the coming weeks as well as we progress through this season. We will still be playing the tournaments. We will still be running the tournaments over the Christmas break. There may not be a cast on Christmas Eve or the night before Christmas Eve for the regular tournament, but I'll work with Nick to see what we want to do. But at the same time, we want to make sure people still get the chance of playing, get the progression, and get the promo packs from me. So we are almost done with the tournament, down to the last little bit. Can Leah Rising get the win here with the progression, just focusing all their energy on the right-hand side? Now we're going to see here, okay, as you get rid of 1, so we're going to, looks like there may be a 1-for-1 is really what we're looking for, an aim from Shirokami. But there is so much resources available to Sigismar. By having them be slept the night before, you're just seeing value upon value here. And Pedro, no problem at all. I appreciate you joining us and playing in this game today, and appreciate the nice comments that you've given me and the work that we're trying to do here at A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. Wow. 4555 coming out, getting the boost because it is ascended. We're going to have an After You trigger. So what gets sacrificed? The question is sacrifice to draw with the jellyfish, which is a fantastic mechanism. Unfortunately, the uniques will never really got that chance to shine unless you played in the first few weeks. Really useful here. What we're going to see here is teamwork training, getting rid of one of the last chances that Shirokami had to balance it out and try to at least entertain the idea of battling on both sides. What will we see? Are we going to get a pass, or will Shirokami have something up their sleeve to get this win? So thank you all for joining. Now, I'd love to, as you guys get a chance, if you want to send me some feedback. Do you like? I just talk the whole time. That's just the way I am. I prefer doing this. At least it keeps me entertained. I can't do it with music, unfortunately, because then I will just not pay attention to the game. But what do we have? What are we going to do here? Is there anything in play? There's still plenty of resources available. Looking at here, so you may sacrifice a character if you do target character switches expeditions. So what are you going to sacrifice? You're moving that across to get a 1-for-1, but then that's still not enough. It looks like Shirokami is having to concede here. Good games to all the players, and that does take us to the end of the round. I will go back into my caster screen as I get used to the new overlays and how to work them. And let's go through as we're making our way. This has been fun. I appreciate everyone that's joined us today. And I'll just take us through the tournament homepage as we go through with the 15 participants. So what we had is HTSA and Aragorn both going undefeated. So both of you will receive a promo pack from me. I do ask that you just reach out to me on the Discord, Chili on the Discord, and I will get that pack to you. I do still owe a couple of packs from last week. Unfortunately, I was away for work, so I did not take those packs with me. And I do owe some of them this week, so please reach out if I have not reached out to you. I've reached out to a couple already saying I'll get those to you tomorrow, and my hope is that I can get that to you. But congratulations to HTSA and Aragorn going undefeated in this 1-hour rapid-fire tournament, NUC version, And thank you very, very much. I appreciate all of you joining in. And I will see you on the next one. For those that can join me tomorrow, Nick and I will be casting the rapid fire tournament that allows uniques, and that will be tomorrow, same time, same place, or same bat channel, same bat place. We appreciate all of you joining in, and congratulations again to Aragorn and HGSA. And I will see you on the next one.